In this video, we're going to expose 5 big lies that skyrocket blood sugar and cause diabetes. What makes this truly shocking? These are often marketed as healthy choices by major food companies and even recommended by some doctors. In fact, one of these items, which millions of people consume every morning, has been shown to increase the risk of diabetes by up to 23%. Now, before we dive into the detail, what do you think about this television ad from the 1950s?
Whether it's baseball, football, basketball, or crew, what sparks a champion sparks you and champions. Choose Wheaties.
Breakfast of Champions.
Ever wonder why so many people eat refined cereals for breakfast? Money. No, cereal isn't the breakfast of champions. It's actually one of the worst ways to start your day. During manufacturing, these grains are stripped of their fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left? Essentially pure carbohydrates that hit your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. Your digestive system instantly converts these refined carbs into glucose, flooding your bloodstream. Your pancreas responds by releasing a surge of insulin to handle this sugar spike. Do this day after day, and your cells start becoming resistant to insulin's effects. It's like crying wolf. Your cells stop listening to insulin's signal, leading to chronically high blood sugar and potentially type 2 diabetes. But timing makes this even worse. A groundbreaking study from the University of Missouri found that what you eat first thing in the morning sets the tone for your entire day's blood sugar response. Their research showed that people who ate a high-protein breakfast instead of cereal had significantly better blood sugar control, not just at breakfast, but throughout the entire day. So what should you eat instead? Focus on protein and healthy fats. That might mean you start your day with eggs, or try half an avocado drizzled with olive oil and a pinch of salt. Greek yogurt topped with soaked chia seeds and fruits is another great option. Shortly, we'll discuss an important warning about yogurt. But for now, the key is to choose a nutrient-dense breakfast which isn't high in carbohydrates. This is going to provide steady, sustained energy without sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. Moving on to our second blood sugar destroyer, low-fat foods. The low-fat craze began in the 1970s, driven more by clever marketing than actual science. Food companies capitalized on fear about heart disease based on bad science to create an entirely new market of healthy, low-fat products. For decades since, we've been told that low-fat options are healthier. But here's the shocking truth. They are awful. A 2015 study revealed that people who regularly consume low-fat dairy actually have a higher rate of type 2 diabetes compared to those eating full-fat versions. Why? Because quality fats are essential for your body. They help balance hormones, slow down blood sugar spikes, reduce inflammation, and help you absorb crucial vitamins like A, D, E, and K. But here's where it gets even worse. When manufacturers remove fat from foods, they have to replace it with something to maintain the flavor. Usually that something is sugar or artificial additives. The result? You end up consuming products that spike your blood sugar and confuse your hormones. Take flavored yogurts, for example. They're marketed as healthy, but they're often loaded with added sugars and artificial flavors that wreak havoc on your blood sugar. Even worse, these are targeted at children, potentially setting them up for blood sugar problems later in life. Instead, opt for full-fat Greek yogurt and add your own fresh berries. Or make your own salad dressing with olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs instead of store-bought versions, which are often filled with inflammatory oils and preservatives. For an extra blood sugar-friendly boost, try adding crushed garlic or mustard to your homemade dressings. Both have natural anti-diabetic properties that offer enormous benefit, especially compared to low-fat commercial dressings. Is this useful? Please click the like button. It really helps us. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to see more diabetes prevention videos. Moving on with another so-called healthy food that's anything but brown bread. Despite what government health agencies tell us, even to diagnose diabetics, brown bread is still a major problem for blood sugar control. Sure, it might be marginally better than white bread, but that's like saying a small fire is better than a big one. Your house is still burning. When you eat brown bread, your body breaks down those carbs into simple sugars almost as quickly as it does with white bread. The result? Your blood sugar spikes. But there's an even bigger problem most people don't know about. Bread contains a protein called ghalatin. Ghalatin actually interacts with opiate receptors in your brain, mimicking hunger hormones. That's why you feel hungry again so quickly after eating bread, leading to overeating and making the whole blood sugar problem exponentially worse. Plus, this ghalatin protein is believed to increase intestinal permeability, leading to inflammation, irritable bowel syndrome, brain fog, and further exacerbating insulin resistance. If you absolutely must eat bread, try this trick. A 2020 study found that drinking lemon water before eating bread reduced blood sugar spikes by 30%. But honestly, your best bet is to avoid wheat bread altogether. We'll discuss alternatives in a moment. Now, what about brown rice, another healthy grain that might not be so good after all? Yes, brown rice keeps its outer layer of bran and germ, making it slightly better than white rice, but it's still going to spike your blood sugar significantly. Your body still converts those complex carbs into glucose, flooding your bloodstream and triggering that insulin response we talked about earlier. Brown rice has a glycemic index of around 68. That's not much better than white rice at 73. There are much better alternatives. Quinoa, for example, has a medium glycemic index of 53, plus it comes packed with important nutrients including protein, essential minerals, and magnesium, all crucial for glucose control. But the real champion is cauliflower rice. With a glycemic index of just 15, cauliflower rice isn't going to spike your blood sugar at all. Plus, it's loaded with vitamin K, vitamin C, and other nutrients that actually support blood sugar control. Getting these alternatives right can be tricky at first, but we've got you covered. Our team of chefs and nutrition experts have created amazing alternatives to rice, pasta, and bread. It's a free recipe book with over 50 delicious low blood sugar recipes. Plus, you'll get our comprehensive guide to preventing and fighting diabetes. They're both completely free. Just click the link in the description below or visit us at diabeticstalk.com. Moving on, let's talk about another healthy swap that's recently been linked to a 23% increase in type 2 diabetes. Plus, certain varieties can be toxic for your dog, so you don't want to have foods that contain these ingredients lying around your house. Did you guess it? Yes, we're talking about artificial sweeteners. Just like the low-fat products we discussed earlier, artificial sweeteners are another case of clever marketing trumping actual science. A recent mega-analysis of 283 high-quality studies revealed some shocking findings. While short-term use might aid in weight loss, longer-term consumption was associated with a 76% increased risk of obesity, a 23% higher risk of type 2 diabetes, and a 12% rise in premature death from any cause. Let's look at some specific sweeteners. In a 2014 study published in the journal Nature, healthy adults consume the maximum daily limit of saccharin according to the FDA. Researchers monitored their blood sugar, and within just 7 days, 50% of participants started having worse blood sugar control. As a result, researchers are currently lobbying to change the regulations around saccharin. But saccharin isn't alone. Hidden in many diet products is acylfultame potassium, or ACE-K, particularly in protein shakes and sugar-free drinks. Studies show that ACE-K severely disrupts the gut microbiome, and that's a bigger problem than most people realize. You see, your gut microbiome impacts everything, from digestion and nutrient absorption to immunity, brain health, and insulin sensitivity. Since 1996, the Center for Science in the Public Interest has been lobbying the FDA to demand further testing before allowing ACE-K. But to date, this appears to have fallen on deaf ears. Then there's erythritol, which was once considered a safer option. However, a 2023 study of 3,000 people delivered a shocking revelation. Those who consumed the most erythritol had nearly double the risk of heart attack or stroke. Laboratory scientists wanted to understand why, so they exposed blood platelets to erythritol and found it significantly increased blood clotting signals. When your blood clots more than it should, this can obstruct blood flow to your heart and brain. But it gets even more concerning when we look at cooking with artificial sweeteners. Two major studies, one in 2010 and one in 2020, raised concern about cooking with sucralose. Researchers found that when sucralose is combined with fats and heated, like when you're baking a cake, it produces compounds called chloropropanols. These chloropropanyl compounds are linked to cancer, kidney damage, and reproductive issues. Interestingly, the world's largest sucralose producer funded a follow-up study in 2021, concluding that sucralose is suitable and safe for its intended uses, including uses in cooked and baked foods. If nothing else, this gives a little insight into the murky and confusing world of the food industry, which is why it's so important to be informed. Sure, industry-funded studies claim it's safe, but based on the independent science, I personally choose not to cook with artificial sweeteners. Even sugar-free gum can be problematic. While xylitol might help prevent cavities in humans, it's extremely dangerous for dogs. Even a small amount can be lethal, so be extra careful to keep sugar-free products like chewing gum out of reach of your furry friends. Plus, excessive consumption of xylitol and other sugar alcohols can cause serious digestive issues in humans too. Xylitol is generally considered lower risk than most, but you don't want to overdo it. The bottom line? Diet sodas and other artificially sweetened products aren't the answer to blood sugar control. Just like those low-fat products we discussed earlier, they're often marketed as healthy alternatives, but the science tells a different story. Instead, try gradually reducing sweetness in your diet overall. Your taste buds and chemical reactions in your brain will adapt, and you'll probably find yourself enjoying natural flavors more than ever. Next, beyond avoiding these foods, why not optimize your body's ability to manage blood sugar by watching our video on 15 amazing foods that fix high blood sugar? Remember to click like and subscribe.